Hello, everyone. Dr. Victoria Scorbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. We're going to do the tarot scope for the sign of Scorpio and for December 2021. Before we get to the tarot, let's just do a brief sort of in my head look ahead for astrologically for Scorpio. This is by no means complete, but just, the highlights. I will be doing a numerology and Kabbalah for December. I'll be doing that tomorrow. I'm a little behind the eight ball with time, getting this stuff out, and I have a wedding to go to, so I'll be in New Jersey for a couple of days. And so I'm trying to get as much out as I can. But, we'll see. Because, not so much because I need to, get it. But there's a lot of information coming in. There's a lot of stuff I think we need to be aware of. So, and I think the astrology sort of opens a door to that a little bit. So, I will do my best, even when I'm on the road, to have a little discussion about what's going on in the days to come. So your fifth house is activated through Neptune turning direct on the 1st of December. And, Neptune is a big energy. And it's a very, very powerful energy. You can get caught up in a wave, you can drown, you can catch the wave and ride it. You can, lay on your back and float it, whatever, but there is that energy, and it is in your house of your children and your creativity, and so there's a big boost in that energy, for you. We have the eclipse that's happening in Sagittarius. That is happening in your house of money. I think you have to be a little careful about investments that you make at this time. You just have to make sure that they're good investments, I think. You'd be a little bit more careful about that stuff, because it is a south node eclipse, and it is a release point. So something, you might have to let go of something, or it is the energy of letting go. So you want to make sure that I almost feel like you want to make sure that the things that you want to change, you're very specific about those. And I think there's a lot has to do with your energy, your ability to focus your energy and not scatter it, and focus on the things you need to focus on that are right in front of you, right? That stuff is important right now. And so that will manifest in people's lives in different ways, but it is important. We have Venus going retrograde in Capricorn, and that is your Scorpio. That's your third house, Capricorn. Capricorn's your third house. You guys have been going through a transformation of your lower mind for quite a while now, with Pluto and Capricorn moving through that third house. It's really tested the structures of your mind. You've really been tested. Are you sure? This is still hold water. Like it's really been put in your face to look at, to evaluate, to heal, to make choices around. But it's quite frankly, it's never easy for Scorpio. you don't come in as a Scorpio unless you're ready to really deal with some stuff. And so that's why Scorpio very often seems to have all this stuff that they're dealing with. There's always like something that's like, whoa, really? With Scorpio. Um, because they're strong enough to do it. They're not fools. They're not fools. They're strong enough to be able to do it. So, as Scorpio rising or a Scorpio moon, because you could have any of those things and have this energy. You could have a full eighth house, and I could be talking to you with this. So we have a full moon in Gemini with the Sun and Sag conjunct the galactic center. So a lot of cosmic energies coming through that part of your chart, and that is your house of money and shared resources, right? Um, Sagittarius Sun galactic center, and then um, the Gemini side would be the moon in your ouch, in your ninth house. Yeah, in your ninth house. No, no, Scorpio. I'm sorry, guys. Sagittarius, second house, second eighth house. That's right, second eighth house. So your resources, your finances, your money. Um, you just need to be careful. You just need to be a good scorpion. A good one that has perspective. The scorpion has three symbols. The scorpion, which is the lowest vibration. The one who feels um, so vulnerable that they strike out with a stinger. Um, and then you have Scorpio, the eagle that has perspective. An eagle can fly to tremendous heights and still see things on the ground. Their range is amazing. So it's depth and breadth of vision and sight. Scorpio. You guys have got it. And there's a whole generation of Pluto and Scorpios, one of which is AOC. That's the energy. That's the, dedication to the job and to hold people accountable. Pluto and Scorpios. And they're, in their 30s now. So they are forced and will be a force to be reckoned with. But I believe a force for good. So we have the sun moving into Capricorn, as it does, closer to Christmas. And we have the Saturn Uranus square, the last of three. Very, very powerful on Christmas Day. Uranus is in Taurus. Taurus is the earth, the ground, right? The earth shakes. And Saturn in Aquarius, modern society maybe even, comes crashing down. That image. There's a lot to be thought about and a lot to be experienced yet. And we need the eagle eyes out there. We need you guys. We need you guys to be your best selves. And then there's the third of the trinity of Scorpio, and that's the phoenix that rises from its own ashes. So there is, you know, there is powerful forces for good out there, guys. And we're the conduits of that. So, and you got a Scorpio on your team. It's like having a couple of people. Oh God, I love you, Scorpios. And then Jupiter moves into Pisces, and again we have that energy of expansion, of compassion to children, to each other, to your children, to your self-expression, to your creativity. It's a lovely energy. It's a lovely energy. So, I don't know, you guys really sort of, you guys know what's at stake. See, that's the thing. You guys know what's at stake. And you're not going to, you're not going to take no for an answer. You're not going to back down. You're going to do it until it's done. And that's the way, to a certain extent, it has to be done. So we have the moon as the first card up. The moon has a light and a dark side. And it is that balance of the yin and yang to a certain extent. We have the crow looking at the moon, and the crow in the moon, like the man in the moon. And we're only seeing shadows. We're only seeing part of the picture. We're only seeing part of the picture. There are many shadows. People are casting shadows that sometimes the shadow seems more, you know, elongated or bigger. And then you realize that it's not that big. And then there's things that you can't see at all that are a little eerie. That's the moon. That's what it's like walking around in moonlight. Everything is sort of silvery and magical and pale. It's a magical time, but it's a little spooky. So this says to me that the full moon is going to be very significant for you guys. So that the full moon is on the 21st, I think. No. Yeah, maybe the 21st. Or the 20th. Or maybe the 19th. I should know. I'm sorry. I don't know. I talk about it all the time, and then the date goes out of my head, so I apologize. But it's happening. What's challenging you is the Chariot moving forward. Well, moving forward, the south node of the moon is going to be in Scorpio because it moves from Sag to Scorpio. And that is a big release for a lot of things, a lot of people, a lot of stuff is going to come out. It's going to really be like a giant psychic dump for 18 months. But from that, like waste product doesn't stay waste, it becomes fertilizer for new and more wonderful things for the future. But moving forward seems to be a problem. At the root is justice, and this is what I'm getting. Moving forward, they have to be very precise to make sure that what wasn't seen is seen, that things are cleared up. So that's the energy of why it's hard to move forward at this time. Let's see what's in the past for you. The Seven of Swords. This is a recuperation. You know, maybe you've been sick. Maybe you've been sick. Um, and you were isolated in some way, but the people who cared about you and loved you were still there, watching from afar. I feel like this might even be how separated we've been required to be through this process. And I'm not sure that that's going to be as much of a thing. I think that um, we're not going to separate as much as we did previously. And that kind of makes sense. I mean, even thinking about the virus, you know, the more people that get vaccinated, the better it is for everyone. You know, really, I know a lot of people think that the vaccine is bad and they don't want to do it and they want to pollute themselves or whatever the reason. And I respect that if that's your reason. If you feel that that's really the thing for you, then that is your right. You have the right to feel what you feel, and you have the right to make the choices that you make. Um, but you may have to like do some things to make sure that the choices that you make don't affect, um, you know, others or even yourself. You have to be smart about stuff. That's the past. So in the sky we have the Knight of Pentacles. I like this card for this because the moon coming up as the first card, there's an instability of emotion. But what's in the sky is really like being patient. You know, you've actually accomplished a lot. You just have to wait. You have to wait for it to come up. And in that process of waiting for what you've planted to come up is a process of protecting the crop, right? Of somebody watching it, of somebody being watchful of it. So I think this talks about being watchful of your money and your investments. Make sure nobody's, taking from you. Um, because this is a time of balance and justice, and things will balance out. Nobody's getting away with anything. That's the thing. Nobody's going to get away with anything. We'll all pay in whatever way we need to balance the scales. What's ahead for you, Scorpio? Strength. This is a powerful time. This is the Kundalini rising, Scorpio. Powerful. Remember the Pluto and Scorpio generation. They're channeling this energy as a generation. My neighbor's daughter is that generation. And she's a Capricorn, very powerful. And she's having a baby soon. A little girl. She's going to be a powerful little girl, let me tell you. How it's seen from the outside. Restricted, held back. They're really, in this deck, this is a really difficult thing to get out of for this bird. I almost feel like this is speaking of, the magic of Scorpio is held down by all these beliefs. Um, the potential of the void, right? Of that crow color, the mysteries of the crow, the magic of the crow, held back by these swords of the mind and this ribbon, um, this red ribbon. But he could fly out of this. He just has to deal with this ribbon. Hmm. The Eight of Swords. I'm just trying to figure out what it is. Oh, I think people are afraid of the energy, that Kundalini force that Scorpio is so good at channeling, really, the evolved Scorpio energy. Um, that they're afraid of that deep sexual energy, I think. Um, the Queen of Swords in the domestic environment. There's a sense of the Queen of Swords is often seen as the widow in the tarot, and so there's a loneliness to that energy. It's interesting that these cards are coming up with this vibe of sort of being held back and being alone and being held back. Let's see what the hopes and fears are. The Page of Wands. I almost feel like this energy, this Scorpio energy, social justice energy, doing what's right energy, um, wants its voice to be heard. Want its voice to be heard. And we have the Six of Wands, which is the Victory card. So you are victorious. You are victorious. So this is maybe a hard lesson right now, this month, but the victory of it is really significant for you. Let's see what else. The Fool. So it's a whole new beginning. A whole new beginning. You will be reborn, Scorpio. This is powerful stuff, man. Two of Cups. Bringing love to its highest level. Spiritual love. Sharing. The rising of the Kundalini. The Judgment card. Waking up. This is a Pluto card. And the Seven of Wands. Having the higher moral ground. But that has been a journey, and seeing things on all different levels. Accessing all your chakras. That's what this is about. Accessing all your chakras. This is a powerful, powerful time of awakening, Scorpio, and you're channeling this energy. So, let's see what Celtic Tree Oracle card we select for Scorpio. And this is the Celtic Tree Oracle that I've had for years. And found again. And I'm excited because I've been looking for them and they finally showed themselves for December. I wish I'd kind of done them for all the signs, but the ones who got them are the ones who need them, I guess. Okay. Hazel. Hazel. Oops, there we go. So this is for Scorpio. Let me get the book and I'll read it. Oops. Okay, there it is. Right behind me. Right behind me. Coal. 40. Oh, I had it open to 40. Coal. Okay, Scorpio, this is for you. This tree's for you. Coal. According to Celtic law, Fintan, the white ancient, was able to take the form of animals, one of which was the salmon. Salmon are associated with the hazel in Irish legend, swimming in the River Boyne under the overhanging hazel tree from which the 9 nuts of the Pedic wisdom fell. They were eaten by the salmon, who absorbed the inspiration they encapsulated. The hazel is also strongly associated with meditation and mediation. The Druids were the inheritors of the knowledge of measures and calculations of the earlier dotem, the prehistory surveyors of the ley lines and trackways portrayed in the ancient chalk cut figure in the of the long man of Wilmington, shown holding a staff or rod. Also skilled in law, the Druids were called upon to mediate the disputes concerning property and land boundaries, much as present-day surveyors. It says hazel embodies many talents: poetry, divination, and the powers of mediation. Through the guidance of this card, these talents can also be channeled for creative energies, especially that which allows you to inspire or increase the capacities, among others, through your words, interests, and pursuits. The hazel, in fact, allows you to be a catalyst or transformer, working through the promptings of intuition to bring ideas to the surface. So this really is a huge step up, Scorpio. This is big for you. This is really big. Step it up. Step up. Do it. You can do it. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. All right. Have yourself a great holiday season, for whatever holiday you may celebrate. And I'm going to be raising my prices at the beginning of the year, not too much. I need a little extra money to deal with that tree in my backyard. So I'm just raising a little bit. I have pretty reasonable prices to start with, so it's probably due for me to raise my prices, quite frankly. But if you want to get it for the 2021 price, you can do that now. Pay for it now, and then 2021, you can do it whenever, in 2022. So that's an option, just to let you know. And we're in amazing times, just amazing. And you Scorpios always astound me with your depth and your compassion and your loyalty, and the depth of your love is just, it's soul opening, and in some cases it could be so crushing if it's done with the wrong intention, right? So we know how powerful we are, the Scorpios out there. It's not a myth. It's not a myth. You guys are very powerful. You're powerful wizards, really, but you have to use that power for the good. I mean, you don't have to, but it'd be better if you did. It would be way better for us and certainly better for you. So, have a good holiday season and stay safe out there. Much love. Namaste. See you next month.